In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at a multi-sub object after it's been brought in from Max. So I'm opening a new file and bringing in one file, the Cypress alternifolium. You notice now this is the OBJ. There's 3 elements. I've made sure that we're checking here for units. We're going to look for a single mesh, which means that each element can receive its own material. A multi-sub-object material is used to assign different materials at the sub-object level of a geometry. So we're going to import it now. Oh, it's asking for a library. Don't worry, we'll make our own. So here's the Cypress alternifolium. You can zoom in, take a look at it. So it's got 3 pieces of the culm, the leaf, and the rachis. And here's this multi-sub-object material. It's got 3 levels, 1 for each element of the object. And then we can now name them. Just makes it easier in the menu later on. Leaf and rachis. Okay, now there's no colors associated with them. So let's go back and take a look at the Onyx, and we can get a sense for how the materials are in the original. Okay, I'm not the best at this Onyx, so we need to zoom out a little bit here, and we need to see the object as a painted object. So there we are. We zoomed out. Now we need to change its paint level. Oops. Okay, there we go. Oh. All right, don't mess with the lights. Here we go. So there it is, rendered. A little bit of blue, some green. There's some yellow in there as you get toward the edges, but you can see that it has multicolors. So first pass, let's define colors for the leaf, the stem, and the culm. And I'm just using simple diffuse materials here. You can get really complicated and use image maps. You can add bump maps. Later on, we're going to use a gradient map. But I'm just trying to do something as straightforward here as I can. So the leaf has an RGB value of 7, 159, and 0. The stem has an RGB value of 0, 65, and 23. And the rachis is a random darker green, somewhat related to the stem was my choice, little bluey green. So you can see here, I've selected each one, I've edited the material definition, and then all together you can see that there are now 3 materials which are part of the multi-sub object. So now we need to apply this, or make sure that it's been applied properly to the geometry in the scene. So I selected element, and now I can see that it is called the culm, and it is a culm, and it's associated with material ID. You can also select objects based upon their IDs, or you can direct select from the scene. Now that's a leaf. So we want to select all leaves and ensure that everything with material ID 2 is going to render as the leaf color in our material definition. And last one, where is the rachis? So what we need to do is, it's hard to see, it's tiny. Oh, yeah, so I'm just going to swirl it around, look for it, there it is. Now I can use its material ID as a means to select the object. So we want 3, and then you can hit, select ID. There is no 4, so hope get the thing right. All right, so now we started again, assigned 1 to the stem, 2 to the leaf, I'm looking to see here, a little bit of fussing, but ignore that. Go to select ID and up this to 3 and then select them. Select, there you go, and you can see that now it's the little, what is highlighted in red as part of the plant. And what material should that be? That should be, it is material ID 3, and it should be material ID 3. So you can see when they come from Onyx, they come with the material ID. You can use their libraries, or you can adjust the material on your own, making sure that it's a multi-sub object. In the next tutorial, we're going to adjust a little bit these colors so that they might have a far more lifelike characteristic. So you can render this scene here, and you can see the different colors between the rachis, the culm, and the leaf. All right, so in this part, what I've done is I've taken a gradient. All right, you can still see that the multi-sub-object material, but the diffuse color is defined by a gradient. And that's just a simple map type that defines the diffuse, and it has the 3 colors. I also think that the plant has some glossiness associated with it. And so my goal here is to add some glossiness. We could do it with a gradient map. We could do it with noise. We can try a variety of things. Yeah, this one's not quite working out for us. All right, so we're going to set our colors again. You can see how we're attempting to change the nature of the material for the culm. I'm hoping it's a gradient, so closer to the ground, hopefully it's darker. As it then rises up to the leaves, it gets a little bit lighter. Maybe it's a transition between a dark color at the bottom to the leaf color as you get to the top of the stem. Now you can also change the position of the gradient, like where the middle is, where it begins to mix. And you can see that I'm using the little slider here. And when I let go, you can see what happens. Okay, so no transition if it's at 0. You can have this transition as you get up to the middle, or heavier toward the end, or the top toward the middle. So again, there are multiple parameters within which you can change. But each one of these changes is happening with a standard material, which is a sub-object of a more complex, of a multi-sub-object material. So they're just, all right, so I'm going to try at least add some roughness in here, which you can do with noise. You can even do this with with waves, right, as black and white, and get some variety as it begins to adjust the that simple diffuse material gradient that we have for the leaf itself. Now, right, what you can do here also, remember, is make your own image maps where you could end up painting a light to dark to actually give a veined appearance to the leaves. And you can render, and you can begin to see there is a little bit of change, just probably not enough. All right, so the units here are probably the ones that we need to begin to work with in order to get some effects with the map. So here's a final image here, rendered white background. You can see, and remember, this is the multi-sub object. It has 3 levels that are 3 unique materials.